Okay, so I just read about MiroFish, this AI prediction engine that uses swarm intelligence. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Wait, swarm intelligence, like how ants or bees work together. That's super intriguing. How does that apply to predicting events?
Exactly, MiroFish gathers real-world data, like news and financial signals, and creates a parallel digital universe where AI agents interact.
So these agents have their own personalities and memories. That's wild. I can imagine how complex those interactions must get.
Right? It's like a giant simulation where you can test out different scenarios. But I wonder, how accurate are these predictions?
That's a good point. They claim to provide detailed reports based on these simulations, but I wonder what the accuracy metrics look like.
It seems like they want to create a risk-free environment to test policies and decisions. But doesn't that assume the simulations accurately reflect reality?
Exactly. Plus, we have to consider that real-world outcomes can be influenced by so many unpredictable factors.
True, and what about bias? AI can sometimes reflect the biases present in its training data. How would MiroFish handle that?
Great question. I assume they have mechanisms to mitigate bias, but it's definitely an area that needs rigorous assessment.
Totally, and think about the ethical implications. If these predictions influence real-world decisions, what responsibility do they have?
That's a big deal. They could impact everything from governance to personal choices. Transparency must be paramount.
Agreed, but also, isn't it fascinating that everyday users can upload their own data and get predictions for personal projects?
Yes, it democratizes access to prediction technology. It's like giving anyone a crystal ball if they know how to ask the right questions.
And it can be used for creative purposes too. Imagine using it to predict the ending of a story or a novel.
That's a fun angle, but does it risk making storytelling less organic? Would writers rely on predictions too much?
I see your point. It could lead to formulaic plots if people start chasing the most predictable outcomes.
Exactly. Plus, storytelling is inherently human. There's a depth of emotion and unpredictability that might get lost.
But there's something to be said about merging creativity with data analysis. It could inspire new ideas.
True, it's a balance. Using tools like MiroFish could push creative boundaries while still keeping a human touch.
So what do you think would be the best way to use something like MiroFish? Just for fun or serious applications?
I think both. It could be used for serious decision-making, but also as a tool for learning and exploration.
That makes sense, and the idea of using it as a testing ground for policy decisions is fascinating.
Yes, it's like a laboratory for society, but there needs to be a strong ethical framework around its use.
For sure, but what if it doesn't perform as expected? There could be huge ramifications.
Right? It's a double-edged sword. The potential for misuse or over-reliance on its predictions is a concern.
It's all about balance. We need the technology to enhance our decision-making without taking away our agency.
Exactly. And maybe MiroFish can help us explore those what-ifs without losing sight of our human intuition.
That's a nice thought. So do you think MiroFish could actually change the way we approach prediction and decision-making?
I think it definitely has the potential to shift perspectives. It's all about how we choose to use it.
And being mindful of its limitations, right? We need to keep questioning the data and assumptions behind it.
Absolutely. Critical thinking should always accompany new technology. Otherwise, we risk falling into the trap of blind faith.
So what's our takeaway here? Embrace innovation, but with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Exactly. It's an exciting time for prediction technology, but we need to tread carefully.
And keep the conversation going. There's so much to explore in the intersection of technology and human creativity.
Definitely. Who knows what the future holds, but I'm excited to see where this leads.
Same here, let's keep digging into these ideas and maybe revisit them as MiroFish develops.
Great plan. I feel like we've just scratched the surface. There's so much more to uncover.
For sure, and who knows, maybe the next big revelation in AI predictions will come from a user's creative input.
Exactly. The power of crowdsourcing could lead to some unexpected and fascinating outcomes.
So here's to the future of AI and creativity and the adventures that await us.
Cheers to that. Let's keep exploring and pushing the boundaries together.